Hey guys, Chris from Adaptation here, and in this video, I'm going to show you the solution for question 6 from the May 2015 PoA P2. If you want to see the solutions to the other questions on this paper, I'm going to put a card up there and a link in the description below, so be sure to check those out as well. Now, a bit of a disclaimer before we get into the solution. The topic in this question is non-profit organizations. Now, the majority of the accounting bookkeeping for this topic was taken off the CSEC syllabus with the May 2019 exam year come forward. So, for the current CSEC students, all you really have to know is the receipts and payments account, which will actually be part of this question, this solution. But for the other parts of the question, you have to know about subscriptions account and that kind of stuff, which again isn't really relevant. But I'm doing this whole solution, one, because there are students other than CSEC students who still have to know about all those other aspects of non-profit organizations, who I would still like to help by doing the entire solution. And two, you never know, CSEC might have a change of heart and bring back the entire topic. And if that's the case, I would like this resource to be there in case they bring it back. And with that said, let's get into the solution. So as per usual, we take a read of the information. It says the treasurer of the People's Popular Political Party presented the following data at 31st December 2014. So we have a little table here. So it says number of registered members, 1,800. Annual subscription per person or per member, right? So subscriptions are the major form of revenue for non-profit organizations. Remember, non-profit organizations are also known as non-trading organizations. They don't buy and resell goods as their major form of revenue generation. This club, this organization is really for members who have a common interest, and it gives them a space or a venue to come together to discuss things, to make plans, to have conversations, to forward, to further ideas. And the subscription is like a membership fee. So that is really, again, the major revenue source for non-profit organizations. So what else do we have in this table? Members with subscriptions outstanding at 1st January 2014, 14 members. So subscriptions outstanding is like revenue outstanding or accrued revenue, which is a current asset. So if we had to do a subscriptions account, which we probably will have to do, that'll go on the debit side at start. Next, members with subscriptions outstanding at 31st December 2014, 60 members. So that's basically accrued revenue at end. So that's going to be brought down on the debit side, but of course will first be carried down from the credit side. But we'll see all of that when we get to the subscriptions account. Then we have these two items, members who paid in advance at the start of the year, members who paid in advance at the end of the year. So when members pay in advance, that's like prepaid revenue, which is getting revenue before you earn it, which means you now have an obligation to provide some sort of benefit for these members. So you have a liability. So prepaid revenue is a liability, and hence prepaid subscriptions or subscriptions in advance is a current liability. So at the start of the period, that will be brought down on the credit side, and this one will be carried down from the debit side and brought down on the credit side. Now, remember, these numbers here, those are the numbers of members. Those are not the dollar figures. Be careful with that. Pay very close attention to where you have dollar signs and where you don't have dollar signs, right? I think we're accustomed with like the entire column being dollars. So again, read your questions carefully. Pay attention to these contextual clues. They're important. Okay, so let's take a look at the first two things they want. Okay, so it says complete the worksheet below to calculate each of the following. So the first thing they want is subscriptions outstanding at the start and at the end of the year. So you have a worksheet here. You also have to calculate subscriptions in advance at the start and at the end of the year. And there's a very similar looking worksheet here. So let's scroll back up to the information and I'll walk you through exactly how to do this. Okay, so this is more of a maths question than it is an accounting question. Let's deal with the members who have subscriptions outstanding first, right? So first things first, the annual subscription per person is $200. At the start of the year, there are 14 members who have not yet paid their subscriptions. So all we have to do, if we come down here to the little worksheet here, is we're going to multiply 40 by 200. And that's going to give us $8,000 worth of outstanding subscriptions at the start of the year. Similarly, the members with subscriptions outstanding at the end of the year, that's 60 people. And it's the same $200 by which we have to multiply. So that working would look like this. 60 members by 200 per member per year, $12,000. And no, you're not going to add those together. That's not a total. That's a meaningless figure. Now let's take a look at the members who paid in advance. So it says here, members who paid in advance at the start of the year was 110. And of course, the amount of subscription is the same regardless of if you pay on time, in advance, or you don't pay. So at the start of the year, we're going to have 110 multiplied by 200. That's going to give us 22,000. And at the end of the year, we have 98 members who had paid in advance. And that's going to give us a total of 19,600, sorry. Okay, so let's take a look at the next part of the question. So for part 2, it says prepare and complete the subscriptions account for the PPP party for the year ended 31st December 2014. Okay, so those opening balances and closing balances we calculated just now would come in pretty handy. But we have another piece of information to go back up to the table for. So I'm going to scroll up very quickly. Okay, so let's start by populating the T account, the subscriptions account, with the opening and closing balances. Now, there's no one right order in which you have to fill in the information. Certain things belong on certain sides. So again, the subscriptions outstanding at the start, that's a current asset, and that will be brought down on the debit side of the subscriptions account. Similarly, the closing balance of subscriptions outstanding, that will also be brought down on the debit side of the account. But prior to being brought down on the debit side, you have to be carried down from the credit side. So those figures there are the subscriptions owing at start and at end. Now similarly, the subscriptions prepaid, right? At start, that's a current liability and will be brought down on the credit side. At end, the 19,600 would also be brought down on the credit side. But prior to being brought down on the credit side, it has to first be carried down from the debit side. Now, the other thing we can put in from this table here is the subscriptions earned for the year. How much, what is the dollar value of the subscriptions that we were supposed to receive, that this entity, the PPP political party, whatever, they earned, what did that entity earn? That's the number of members, 1,800, multiplied by the annual subscription. That's normally we'd say income statement, but non-profit organizations don't use income statements. They have income and expenditure accounts. But basically it functions just like an income statement. And because this is a revenue, you will credit the income and expenditure account and you will debit where it's coming from. So on the debit side, you're seeing subscriptions earned, or I just have subs, right? Subs earned. And now, if we have to balance off here, we will note that there's a missing figure. That missing figure will be the actual dollar amount of subscriptions received. And as you should know, that will not be credited to cash book, right? Sorry, that will not be labeled as cash book. My apologies, I said the wrong thing there, right? That will be labeled as receipts and payments, and it will be the balancing figure in this account. All right, so that's it for the subscriptions account. Let's take a look at the next part of the question. Okay, so this part of the question reads, the PPP party lists the following transactions for the period ended 31st December 2014 on the form provided below. Classify each item as follows. So it says write either capital or revenue in the expenditure type column to indicate the type of expenditure involved for each item. Insert a check mark in the appropriate column to indicate whether the item is to be reported in the income and expenditure account or in the balance sheet. The first item has been done for you as an example. So before we go to the example, do you know the difference between capital and revenue expenditure? Capital expenditure is expenditure to acquire new fixed assets or to make significant improvements to them. Revenue expenditure is any other type of expenditure, rent, salaries, depreciation as well. So that's how we're going to have to classify the expenditure. Is it capital? Was it spent to acquire new fixed assets, or was it spent on anything else? And then the check mark, right? So this one here for the income and expenditure account. So revenue expenditure will be recorded, or will be transferred to rather the income statement, right, as we know it, but in this case the income and expenditure account. And the balance sheet, that will hold usually capital expenditure. But as we go through, of course, we know there are other items that we might see that might go to the balance sheet, but I have a feeling it's only going to be expenditure. As you probably could see, if not, it says classification of expenditure. Let me scroll down so you can see what I'm talking about, right? So as you can see here, it says classification of expenditure, right? Item numbers. So there's an item 0 as the example, description, right? Expenditure type. So that's where you're going to put whether it's capital or revenue expenditure, and the account where the item should be reported. So it's either in the income and expenditure account, right? Their version of the income statement, or the balance sheet. And I hope you can see that little check mark there, right? Because paid salaries to office. So salaries, that doesn't acquire fixed assets, or non-current assets, I should say, right? So that's definitely not capital expenditure. That is definitely revenue expenditure and will end up in the income and expenditure account. Okay, so let's scroll down So we could see the rest of the items and we could get around to classifying them. Okay, so the first thing says invested in an ID card making machine 5,000. So an ID card making machine to me sounds like a non-current asset. And as such, that would be classified as capital expenditure. Sorry, that was the example, right? So let's go to the next one. So that would be classified as capital expenditure, and that would end up in the balance sheet, right? Because remember, we do not put the cost of equipment or any non-current asset as an expenditure in the income statement. That would violate the matching principle. We will put the depreciation associated with it, but the actual expenditure to purchase or to acquire the non-current asset, that does not go in the income statement. That goes definitely to the balance sheet. Okay, next we have paid for printing of the party's manifesto booklet for its annual convention meeting, $20,000. Right, a booklet is not a non-current asset. That is a current asset. It's actually probably just supplies for that meeting. So that will definitely be revenue expenditure and will end up in the income and expenditure account, as you can see there. Next, it says made a down payment of $60,000 for the purchase of a new bus. So a bus is a non-current asset, and any money paid towards the acquisition of the bus will be classified as capital expenditure, and of course will make its way into the balance sheet. Next item, it says paid $100,000 for building works which extended and improved the party's headquarters building. That is definitely also capital expenditure and will end up in the balance sheet as well. And finally, we have paid for advertisement for a political rally, $25,000. So advertising is not a non-current asset. That's regular expenditure, revenue expenditure, and as such will be classified as such and end up in the income and expenditure account. Okay, now I think we just have a receipts and payments account to do. So let me rearrange my screen and we'll take a look at that item. Okay, so for the last item for this question, they wanted a receipts and payments account. Now, we weren't given any opening balance. We were just given one receipt, which was the subscriptions figure. So that would go on the debit side. So if you think back to your subscriptions account, I think that was like $353, $600. That was the balancing figure in the account. And every item up here, as you can see, is an item of expenditure. So all of those items will go on the credit side, because remember, the receipts and payments account is essentially a cash book with one column, meaning the bank. Any payments that you make will result in money coming out of the bank, which will decrease the asset of bank. And to record a decrease in an asset, you have to credit the asset account. So the ID card making machine, $5,000, the printing of the manifesto, the down payment for the new bus, the $100,000 for the building works, and the advertisement for the political rally. Now the totals here would be $353.6, so we will have a balance carried down from the credit side and brought down on the debit side, which indicates, well, you're not in overdraft, so you don't owe your bank any money. So you have an amount of cash in your bank of $143,600 for your use. Okay guys, so there you have it. That's the solution for this question. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out some other videos here. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Check out my website for some free POA handouts, and don't forget there's a link to my Facebook page which will give you free solutions in maths and accounts. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. Bye.